This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, and just doing a quick solo Royal Rumble post-mortem. I said modem. Damn. What the hell is wrong with me? Quick Royal Rumble post-mortem. Before I start getting to work over here, just wanted to give you guys some of my thoughts again on what happened. You know, the immediate reaction, you know, already done on the podcast, but you know, after having a night's sleep and some time to think of it on it some more, just wanted to, you know, put in a final word on how I felt about it. I mean, I still don't change the score that I gave in the podcast for the pay-per-view. You know, my boy Gaming Enclave, shout outs to you, sir. My partner in crime in the sharpshooting podcast that we do. Look at that promo sneak right in there. Tuesdays, check it out. You know, post at random times, but expected sometime Tuesday nights. Yeah. Anyway, he asked us, me, and shout outs to Flying Mortem too for joining in. Appreciate you coming through. That was fun. We have to figure out a way of getting you on more, because it definitely is. I think it even makes it even more fun when there's more opinions in there and more ideas that could be bounced off. So we're gonna have to get you back in here, Flying Mortem, like on the regular. Anyway, so Pete asks, you know, what we rated it. Flying Motor gave it 6. He gave it 5. I gave it 4. And I said my 4 was being nice. And I still stand by that, because I feel that way because it's not just the pay-per-view itself that I felt was a failure, but it was the entire setup to the pay-per-view. As I, you know, continually say, Royal Rumble is one of your biggest pay-per-views of the year. It's top 3. You have WrestleMania, and then you could argue which is of more importance, Royal Rumble or SummerSlam. I say Royal Rumble only because of the implications behind winning the Royal Rumble itself. So I think that slightly nudges it above SummerSlam, even though I feel like SummerSlam is kind of like kind of has a lot of weight because it's that middle of the year, like, huge event that tends to, at least it used to be, a catalyst for what goes on for the rest of the year and how they lead into the Royal Rumble the preceding year. But yeah, you could flip-flop those, in my opinion. So but this Royal Rumble, they just did not put it together well. You know, a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, I had said something about, like, where's the matches? And then the following week, we have what goes down on Raw. You get the Ascension match. They announced the Bellas versus Paige. And who won that match, by the way? I honestly don't remember who fucking won, because, like I said during our post show, I had my phone in my hand. I was, like, holding conversations with people through Twitter and, you know, Messenger on my computer. I was totally disengaged from that because I didn't really care. It's like, this rivalry, I don't care. I don't watch Total Divas. I don't, you know, give a fuck if this has anything to do with Total Divas. There was no use to this match. You know what I mean? I just didn't care. The Usos, Miz and Mizdow. It's tiring, you know. It's the reason why you had to have the Ascension beat the Outlaws, which I thought was botched as well. You know, the other guys, they enjoyed it, but I just felt like they gave the New Age Outlaws a little too much of a pop. I mean, of course, they're a fan favorite. People are gonna like them, but I think they let them put in more work and get more spots on the Ascension than the Ascension got on them. I felt like it was like the Ascension snatching the victory out of the jaws of defeat at the end. That's just how it felt to me. I don't know. So I don't think they did anything to build those guys up and make people care about them to help, build the tag team division. Pretty much Triple Threat and Royal Rumble were the only two things to really care about. Triple Threat I thought was a good, they ended up making a really good match. They let Cena be Cena and maintain to be strong in defeat. I think Seth Rollins did a hell of a job of carrying the match with the things that he did. Like, Seth Rollins is a great worker in the ring. Again, I've said this before, I'll say it until it happens. Once he goes face, it's on, because that dude can be electrifying in the ring. It's like the reaction that he got off of that move off the top rope. Expect that a lot once he goes face. I think right now WWE kind of holds back his game because of his heel status. But I feel like once he goes face, he's going to be fucking like off the charts. And they're going to let him do a lot more and work a lot more in the ring. So, and Brock winning was, to quote Triple H, what was best for business. Cena, it's funny because thinking back to the conversation on the podcast, I understand all of, everybody's been, especially Flying Motors. I really think he had a great point when he said that if Cena would have won, at least you would have known the champ would have been around all the time. Seth wins, that would have been cool too. But Brock winning, what it does is it doesn't create any new problems, such as people having to see Cena, come back on top and not like it, or figuring out now how to, work Seth Rollins having the belt and the Money in the Bank. How does that go? Things like that. It doesn't make any new problems, but it keeps old ones existing, and that's having a champion who's part-time, who probably won't be at the next pay-per-view. If Brock Lesnar has any type of match at Fastlane, I would be totally shocked. If he shows up, I'd be totally shocked. I don't even feel like he will show up to the pay-per-view, because that's the type of contract that he has. He pretty much does whatever he pleases, and him having the belt hurts more than anything, because this guy is not going to be around flashing, the gold, showing everybody week in, week out, or at least, twice a month would be nice to see the, champ show up, get into a match, and just remind us, hey, this is what everybody's fighting for. Everybody's trying to get on top and get where I'm at. This is what, wrestling is all about, being the best. It's no longer that. Vince has definitely made sure that he got his point across with us, with Brock Lesnar's reign, that titles don't matter anymore. You know what I mean? So they still have that there with Brock, but I'm glad that he has it, because I think him going to WrestleMania with the belt is about the most compelling thing that you could do, because whoever works against him can get the push of taking out this like unstoppable force, which is what they've been establishing with Brock. So it helps in that. The problem, though, is who you have now being lined up as the person to take down the biggest, monster in WWE, the undisputed champ who just devastates people. I mean, the way they sold the whole Brock had broken ribs, and he gets up and he like pulls the victory out with devastating F5 and all that. By the way, I do agree with Pete. They probably shouldn't have had it on Seth, because then that would have, he should have pinned Cena again. So that way you would have at least, like, if you're were displeased, you had that like lingering element of drama, suspense in the background. You know, sorry. For some reason, I think I hear a cat outside. Anyway, you know, you at least had that lingering element of suspense, drama, that would allow you to, you know, think about, you know, it's like, is he going to cash in? Is he going to do it? Is he going to, you know, try to take the belt off of Lesnar after Lesnar just got punished, got broken ribs? This is his opportunity. It's the best opportunity to cash in. He can catch him while he's, like, you know, hurt, but they let him pin Rollins, dispelling any of that. So now the Rollins cash in probably will come around WrestleMania, unless they do something surprise on the way to take the belt off of Lesnar, which I just don't see at all. I don't see at all. But anyway, Reigns now just basically shows us that Vince is hell-bent on making him the man. He's, like it or not, Reigns is the man. Now, of course, he could lose at WrestleMania. In fact, it would be best if he does lose at WrestleMania. You know, you put him in that position, you let him get to the top spot, cool. Don't throw the belt on him right now, because he's not ready. Everybody in the world knows this guy is not ready to carry WWE. His reign would be a painful one. It would be one that he has to, like, spend growing up, so to speak, and learning, you know, how to really be a champion, how to really be the face of a company, how to really carry things, because he has a charismatic look, a charismatic air about him. His bloodlines help because, hey, he's a cousin to The Rock. So, you know, and, you know, Rock's flamboyant. The whole, you know, family is flamboyant. I forget the last name, sorry. But, you know, they have a style to them that's always been, you know, go to Rikishi, you know. Even though I'm not big on the Usos, you know, the Usos have something about them. They all have that, you know, in them. That being said, this guy doesn't carry that, you know, air of swagger on the mic, which translates to him deflating anything that he could do in the ring, which isn't that great anyway. You know, he has much work in the ring, but he has a hell of a lot to, you know, work on mic wise. The guy's just bad. Even having The Rock show up, which I think kind of hurt him. To me, it hurts more than helps him that The Rock had to show up and save him, and then had to really be the mouthpiece afterwards for him, because it shows you just how fragile this guy is. It's like you had to bring The Rock out to get the pop, to, like, try to get him winning the Royal Rumble over. That's what The Rock was there for. He was there to try to get over and sell Reigns, and that's bad because Reigns can't do it on his own. So now you have, you know, one of your biggest stars, but arguably the weakest when it comes to selling matches, selling, you know, his position, you know, and all of that. You have probably the weakest out of all on your roster now poised to be the top guy. How are you going to work that? How is that going to, you know, this is going to be an interesting 2 months, because they're going to have to work their asses off to get this guy to a point where the crowd can believe it and can buy into it and to get with it. Because as it stands now, I mean, we saw the reaction in Philly. We saw the reaction on Twitter, all over the internet. No one's really with this, you know. And real quick before I close this out, Daniel Bryan can't go as early as he did. Daniel Bryan, I have no issues with Daniel Bryan not winning. I feel a lot of people who say that him winning the Royal Rumble after coming back so soon would have kind of been corny. Yeah, it would have had some corny elements. It would have been something that the crowd wants, the crowd liked, but, you know, and I don't think it would have been something that's hasn't been done before, because we saw The Rock come back and do this. We saw Batista come back and do this. We just haven't seen anybody who the crowd has like been seriously behind do this recently. But you know, I can understand him going. He needed to go later though. He probably should have been in the last 4, but I would have been comfortable if he was like that guy who was just this close to making it to the last 4, but didn't. Instead, he was a middle of the pack, you know, guy. They probably set up another feud between him and Bray Wyatt for the next pay-per-view or for WrestleMania, however long they want to carry that, so that he can have a spot on the pay-per-views again. Okay, cool, fine, but it doesn't make sense. Have Bray eliminate him, but way later, not as early. That's what I think. But overall, not a good pay-per-view at all. WWE has now dug a pretty deep hole that they're gonna have to climb out of in 2 months. They're really gonna have to climb. I really feel like that's what we have set up with WWE right now, but hopefully they can get their act together and pull something out to make WrestleMania. You know, WrestleMania has to now make up for what they did in Royal Rumble, and now, gosh, they really screwed themselves, because WrestleMania, they have to knock this out the park. They can't, you know, just do okay anymore, or they can't just do enough with WrestleMania. I personally think this WrestleMania has to be one of their best to, you know, get people back hot, to being high on the product, because right now Royal Rumble has totally gave it a hit. People's already trending, you know, cancel WWE Network. Their site crashed last night due to so many people flooding it to cancel. You know, you had people witness a live crowd just, you know, totally, you know, eviscerate all your plans with their boos and their chants and all that. So they got work. You got work to do. Triple H, please do something. Get in Vince's ear and get on that writing team, that creative team, and have them sort this out, because you're looking forward to a very ugly year for WWE right now. But anyway, I'm done. You guys hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.